Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going over my review of theKraken'sSacrifice by Katee Robert. This is book 2 in a Deal with the Demon series. If you have already read the first book, which is The Dragon's Bride, I do have a review up on my channel already, so you can scroll up or I can try to link it below, or it might be actually added on when you watch this. It might be like suggested, but if you want to watch the review on the first book, I already have it up, and this is book 2. So this does start off pretty similar to how the Dragon's Bride does start. So Miss Robert does kind of reset the world for you. So I would say you could read this as standalones. I think the first book is really fun and I did enjoy it more, spoiler, but I think you can jump into this one if you haven't read the first one already. So it starts off similar, where our heroine Catalina is making a deal with the demon. I think his name's Azazel. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation, but I believe it's Azazel. And Azazel actually does make a small appearance, or pretty significant appearance, in the Court of the Vampire Queen saga by Katee Robert. So if you read those books, or the collection of books put into the Court of the Vampire Queen, I have that review up as well, and that is the same as Azazel. So Ms. Robert does have sort of a key of all the characters and how they interlock in different worlds. So I can try to also put that graphic in this video as well. I did put it in the Court of the Vampire Queen, so I'll try to find that and put it in here as well. But Catalina makes a deal with the demon. She's not having such a great life, so she decides to cut a deal with the demon and leave Earth and go to this other magical realm in search of happiness. So she's always sort of felt like a burden, not a fully developed person, ironically. And so she leaves the world, makes a deal with the demon, and is auctioned off as a bride for one of the monsters. So as in book 1, we have Briar Rose and Soul, who is a dragon. In this one, it is Catalina, or Lena, sometimes she's called, and our hero is Thane. He is a Kraken. So some tropes that are popular in this book, or that are in this book, are grumpy sunshine. We have a grumpy hero, sunshiny heroine. We have a widower romance. So Thane was previously, I believe, married before, and I don't know if his husband was a Kraken as well, if it was just sort of some other creature that was male. So I don't know if they went into that fully, but Thane is technically a bisexual hero, although it's just sort of past tense, I guess, because he's married to Catalina. This does have the trope of Beauty and the Beast vibes, and it is, of course, a monster romance. So I don't want to give too many spoils away, but this book is fairly short. I was the odd duck in my friend group, and I did enjoy this book. I did give it 5 stars, but that's not to say that it wasn't problematic. I did find the characters of Catalina as well as Thane to be a smidge underdeveloped. I don't know. I didn't really gravitate towards them as much as I did with Briar Rose and Soul. I felt like Thane being bisexual, I don't feel like that was developed enough. It was just sort of like, oh, he was married to a man and now he's just randomly auctioned off to, or he bids to buy a woman for sale. I would have liked to have a little more depth into that storyline. I felt like it was, I don't know, it just didn't have enough development for me as a reader. So I would have liked to know more about Thane's sexuality and stuff like that. If you're going to make the character bi, I sort of want to know their back history a little bit more. I don't know. Not to say that I wouldn't want to know if this characters are straight or whatever, but I just want to know more about that as the character. You know, that was a choice for the character's development. I want to know more about it. I want to know more about these characters, which I felt like we didn't get as much. I felt like the first book, the characters were a little more well-rounded, and I do believe Soul was also a widower. I think his wife died as well. She was a dragon. So, you know, another interesting choice are all of the heroes. I think one is a heroine. It's going to be Sapphic. But are all of the characters going to be a widower, or a widow in the succubus's prize? You know, I want to know more about that. Is that why these women are coming or being chosen or whatever, you know? So I would have liked to know that a little more. Like I said, I did give it 5 stars because I did enjoy it, but it is problematic. It was a little bit, you know, it was underdeveloped for me. I wouldn't say a little bit, it was underdeveloped. And Ms. Roberts says in her content warning that it's sort of, there is like an abortion happens in the story, which was also an interesting choice. It's late in the book. It's, for me, it said I had like 10 minutes left of the story, 10 minutes left of the book in my Kindle, and the abortion takes place. And I just thought that was interesting. I don't know why in the first book we have our heroine have this like special bracelet where she can't get pregnant. I don't know, like our heroine Catalina was given a bracelet too, but it was so she could breathe underwater. Are the women only given one bracelet? I thought the like birth control bracelet was like a universal gift, so it just was a little interesting to have a monster romance that had an abortion. Ms. Robert didn't call it on page, but it was, the act itself wasn't on page, but it was enough on page that you like knew what was going on, sort of thing. So, you know, just an interesting choice. I think that's why a lot of people might have given the book lower star ratings, is because of that. I don't know everyone's choices or whatever, but it was just it was a unique choice to say the least, especially in like the world of monsters and stuff. I don't know how much people want to have like realism in monster fantasy romances where you'd have like an abortion or a choice about the matter, because I feel like sometimes we as readers choose a monster romance because it has that fantasy element and we don't have to like face real world consequences in a way, you know. Like I feel like, you know, we're not like, ooh, let me get the condom or whatever, like you would in like a contemporary small town romance, or like make sure they're on birth control. It's like, if you're with a monster, are you going to get pregnant? I mean, I guess there's like breeding kinks and stuff in certain monster romances, like the Work series by Finley Finn, etc. But I don't know. It was an interesting choice. And I've said that 400 times. So yeah, I did enjoy the story. Like I said, it did have its qualms, but overall I liked it. And I'm very excited to read Grace's story, which is the third one, The Gargoyle's Captive. That one is already available. And then book 4, I believe, doesn't come out until March 18th. And that's The Succubus's Prize. And I had to Google what a succubus was because they're mentioned in the book I just finished after this one. And it seemed like a succubus is always female and the incubus is male. So I guess this one's going to be a sapphic romance, which I don't remember them having a succubus in book 1. I know there was a Rusalka, and those are females, so I thought that was going to be the sapphic romance, but Ms. Roberts has already put an end to the series. There's the Succubus's Prize, and then 1 or 2 more, and then it's done. So I think she has all the covers out. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that she has all the covers out and the books aren't coming out for a while. Like Grace's story, the third one came out March, and book 4 doesn't come out till next March. So I know she's really doing well with her Dark Olympus series, but I felt like, I don't know, I guess that one's making more money and more goals set, and so she's putting more, or the publisher, whatever, and that is a mainstream publisher. That's, I think it's Berkeley, I think, and this one is more of an independent bookseller, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but I'll miss this series because it's been fun. Well, everyone, I've rambled on far too long. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I will see y'all soon for another video. Bye, everyone.